Welcome folks, I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
The new Top Gun Maverick trailer has dropped, and I've been looking at this for the last few minutes, wondering whether or not I should actually look at. Obviously, if you're watching this video, we've gone ahead and done our reaction, but it's just one of those things where you get afraid to look at subsequent trailers because you don't know if they're gonna give too much away, if they're gonna ruin the story for you. We went to the premiere of The Witcher. In the last minute of watching that, they gave away the rest of the season in their trailer. It's like, you know, you're looking forward to it, suddenly they gave away everything in the rest of the show. It's like, okay, well, I saw the whole show. And so I don't want that to happen here with this movie. It's something I'm very, very much looking forward to. I'm very excited. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I'm so happy that Tom Cruise has done this. I'm bracing myself. Okay, one more caveat. My reaction to the first one was so high, and I don't think that any subsequent Top Gun Maverick trailer can match that sort of
excitement,
that level of excitement, because it was so fresh, so new, and it was like all the nostalgia. So this is I'm trying to like set myself up properly, because I'm not going to be able to be as excited as I was the first time. There's just no way. It's like it's not as fresh. So here we go. Oh my god. The music is so cool.
Your instructor is one of the finest pilots this program has ever produced. His exploits are legendary. What he has to teach you may very well mean the difference between life and death.
What the fuck?
Your reputation precedes you.
I have to admit, I wasn't expecting an invitation back.
They're called orders, Maverick.
This is your captain speaking. Today's exercise is dogfighting.
2 versus 1? Hey, you gotta be kidding.
Oh my god. Oh, Jesus.
Did you cry?
Yeah. It was so cool.
Aww.
Oh my god, it's so cool. I need a second. Oh, wow. That was awesome. I'm very happy.
That did look really cool, and I don't think it gave too much away.
No.
It was more just like little snippets of little scenes, but you didn't really get the full sense of the story. It was just like, here's some cool stuff, here's some emotional stuff, here's a bunch of Tom Cruise in silhouette.
If you've seen the first one, you pretty much know what's going on. I mean,
oh, it's like the same story beats.
I mean, it's following similar story beats, but aged appropriately. I know who's in the casket. So,
oh no!
If you guys are big fans of Top Gun, you already know who's in the casket. So I won't tell you.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's fairly obvious. They should not have shown that in the trailer. That was a no-no, and that's exactly what I was afraid of, is them giving something away. I'm like, oh, why'd you do that? So I could be wrong. It could have been someone else, but I think you and I know who that is. Outside of that, that was a lovely trailer. Press F to show, I forget what the internet meme was. It was like press F for to show respect. I actually played that game for the PC, the Call of Duty game, and pressed F and felt weird. That was, I mean, what can I say? That was lovely. And I very much enjoyed that. The thing about it is, I could not see any CGI in that at all. If there was, I did not know it. It was so well done that it went over my head, no pun intended. It was just so well executed. I was told last time that Tom Cruise wasn't really flying, that like a bunch of people were telling me in the comments what was really going on. Like he's in the plane with actual pilots.
Right.
And so he's not actually flying, but he is actually in the planes.
I mean, that makes sense though, because I feel like the level of skill required to execute those moves correctly and safely is something that you probably can't just teach an actor in a matter of months or whatever. That's probably like...
You still require a high degree of training though to be able to go into those planes, in my estimation, based purely on the movie Armageddon.
Why?
Well, I mean, because you're going... Okay, my experience is a roller coaster called Goliath here in California, okay? The ride's crazy, but there's this moment towards the end of the ride where it's going in a circle with like extreme G's. And I remember not being prepared for this moment and seeing black come over my eyes.
Right.
And I could hear everything just fine, and I wasn't like knocking out. It was just the blood was rushing from my brain, and so I couldn't see anything for a few moments. And the same thing can happen to you up there when you're going high speed, like crazy high speed, you know, several G's, breaking the sound barrier. You have to be prepared to breathe properly. Joe Rogan talked about it in one of his earlier stand-up specials. I don't know if you can find it anymore on Netflix, but he talks about going up in a plane and having to breathe a certain way in order to keep the blood inside of your head so you don't black out.
I did get to fly in an FA-18 once with the Blue Angels. Oh, I thought this was gonna be like driving a car fast. It's gonna be like a crazy video game. We're gonna go in a jet. It's gonna be fun. You have no idea how physically demanding that is unless you try it. We went 7.5 G's. You have to force blood into your brain to stay conscious.
Right, okay, well, that makes sense.
If they're going anywhere near real speeds that these jets can go, Tom Cruise would have had to, I fully believe, just based on it being Tom Cruise, I fully believe that he spent time doing some kind of training to be able to go in those planes and, you know, keep up at least a little bit with these, you know, Navy pilots. And there's a lot of nostalgia in there. There's a lot of like throwback to stuff we've seen.
Well, even like that scene on the beach, right? I've never seen the movie, but everybody knows that iconic scene.
Here's the thing with the film is the entire, okay, you know how in sequels there's this running joke of, hey, remember when we did that in the last movie?
Yeah.
This entire movie is, remember when we did that in the last movie? And I have no problem with that at all. I'm fully on board for it. I'm fully on board for it. Remember when we did this last time, but now it's even cooler. Like, I'm totally content with that.
Even looking at Miles Teller with his shirt off, I'm like, oh, okay, is this like them? Obviously, it's them nodding back to that moment with the volleyball, but like, damn, Miles Teller. Very cut. Yeah. And also, are they kind of trying to groom him in the footsteps of Tom Cruise?
No.
For the future?
No. He was modeled after one of the other characters.
Oh, okay.
He was modeled after either the actor from ER, whose name I can't remember right now, or Val Kilmer. Anthony Edwards. For those of you who don't know, he was in ER for years. He looks like a combination of Anthony Edwards and Val Kilmer's character, you know, with the hair and the mustache. Because Val Kilmer didn't have the mustache, Anthony Edwards did, but Val Kilmer had the hair. And so he looks like a combination of the two. And so
everybody had the six-pack.
I can't, as a kid, I didn't really think about that. You're focused on some weird stuff there. I'm just happy. It moved me so much that I actually cried. I couldn't believe it.
I can understand the nostalgia there. I'm just looking at it through a fresh lens, and it looks really cool.
Yeah. I mean, that moment when you get, you know, one plane in front of the other and it just like pulls back like that, and it's just the close proximity of it all is so frightening. Like,
yeah.
And then they're showing you a lot of this cool kind of I used to watch the Blue Angels as a kid, and you see them doing these stunts and whatnot, and what makes them so exciting is that sometimes things go wrong.
Oh.
Sometimes things go wrong and like people get hurt doing these like plane stunts and whatnot.
Wow.
And I mean, it's not often. So there's this degree of danger that you're sort of agreeing to with watching this stuff, right? And so I'm seeing that here. And you could see how close. The thing about it is when you're looking at it from the ground, watching a Blue Angel show, you get a sense as to how close everything is.
Right.
But the cameras are right there. The camera doesn't lie, at least not as much as you standing on the ground would lie, right? Because you have a one perspective, whereas the camera's like right there. Seeing all this stuff unfold is only, you can only cheat it so much. You know, you're working with professionals, everything has been rehearsed and timed, and it's like, okay, but still things can go wrong. And that sort of danger with stunts that we used to do a lot more before CGI became so prevalent is present here.
Right.
And you know it's present here because it's a Tom Cruise movie.